What's going on, guys? Thank you for watching my channel and watching this video. Please like, comment, subscribe below for more content like this. Appreciate it. So I want to take a slight pivot off of that, and we'll get back to Fuentes and Carlson in a second. But I found this to be very interesting because I was looking up, okay, what are the threats to this conversation about, Israel and Jewish people and the Groypers and anti-Semitism and everything like this? What are some barriers to this? And I came upon this. This is a very fascinating thing. No one's talking about this, but there is a company in the independent media space called Red Seat Ventures. If you've heard of this, if anyone's heard of this, please let me know. I did not know of Red Seat Ventures. I think I saw a Twitter thread on it a couple weeks ago, and I couldn't really believe what I was seeing. And so I went down and I was like, what's going on here? Like, what is this? And so I did some research on it, and Red Seat Ventures is a shadow company of conservative media, independent conservative media, which is very concerning. It recently acquired Megyn Kelly's show. Megyn Kelly's show was funded by Red Seat Ventures, made possible by Red Seat Ventures. Bill O'Reilly's show, which has been massive for 50 years at this point. And he's now he does a lot of stuff with News Nation. He's employed by The First. He has his own channel, obviously, in his own independent space. They funded Bill O'Reilly's show, who are major. Megyn Kelly and Bill O'Reilly doesn't get bigger than them for their various demographics in terms of online influence, their overall cultural clout. And the biggest thing that they pride themselves on, as well as many others, we'll talk about all those others in that space, they pride themselves on being, quote unquote, independent. Megyn Kelly talks about it all the time, and I think she is. But are they really? Are they really free? Or are they only free as much as Red Seat Ventures allows them to be? It's a legitimate question. And it kind of sent me down this rabbit hole of okay, what does free, what does independent mean? And I think what freedom and independence truly means is that you are only free, and I mean only free, if you're able to sustain yourself, whether it's financial, whether it's physical, whether it's emotional, without outside intervention, which is now in doubt with these two titans. If you're, if you have your own house, but your parents are paying your mortgage, you're not free, you're a slave. If you can't go a week without seeing your therapist, you're not mentally tough. Sorry, you're not. And this, I think, is more apropos to someone like Bill O'Reilly than it is to Megyn Kelly. Megyn Kelly has a lot of other financial opportunities and backers on this, but we'll see. And I went down the Red Seat Ventures rabbit hole as well, and I was stunned by this. It is owned, Red Seat Ventures, by News Corp. Who owns News Corp? Rupert Murdoch. What does Rupert Murdoch also own? Fox News, The Wall Street Journal, The New York Post. It's whoa. Megyn Kelly and Bill O'Reilly both got fired by Fox News. They're not working for Fox News or the company that owns Fox News. Yes, they are. They helped to launch them. And guess who else is tied in with Red Seat Ventures? Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, Eric Bolling, Brett Cooper. Massive people in this space. And I'm looking at all this and I'm like, what in the world is going on here? And that led to a question. Is this whole thing an op? Is independent media real? Is anyone truly independent? Is anyone really free to say what they want to say anymore? What if Red Seat Ventures doesn't like the Tucker Carlson Nick Fuentes interview? They fired Tucker Carlson for less than that. They fired him. Fox News fired him for questioning the war in Ukraine. And so who's to say that Red Seat Ventures can't stick their foot in the door and gag Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens, Eric Bolling, Brett Cooper? Who's to say they can't gag him now? Jesse Kelly, who I also love, Bill O'Reilly. I was floored when I heard about this, and I encourage you to go to. It's right on Red Seat Ventures' website, by the way. They don't hide it, and so there is this this notion about quote unquote independence. On the positive side, I don't want this to be a doom and gloom thing. Oh my gosh, it's all over. It's not all over. there's this notion, this kind of like, again, this rugged individualism, like very libertarian conservative notion that you need to do everything by yourself. That no one's going to help you, no one's going to save you. And in many ways, that's true. You shouldn't depend on that. But the good thing is that when you are in the vein of righteousness, that's not true. You're not by yourself. We all in this cause, whatever cause this is, whether it's your church, whether it's the independent media space, we all need to be united in a common mission. And the quote-unquote independent media space is no different, whether that's with Red Seat Ventures or with somebody else. Now, we need to be careful, obviously, of influence and of corruption and call it out in all spaces when we see it. But the tough reality of the conservative media space, the independent media space as a whole, I should say, is that the American right, the conservative MAGA people, have not had, and the libertarian people, by the way, have not had an answer to the institution question. We do not have a media apparatus that's mainstream. We don't have a New York Times. We don't have a CBS News. No matter how much Barry Weiss wants to cosplay like she's independent inside of CBS News, she's not. Which is where, Red Seat Ventures is filling itself in with helping to launch all these careers, these shows, these channels. And I think now, should we be, it's kind of like, BlackRock and State Street, like oh my gosh, they own everything. Like Red Seat Ventures, they own like a lot of conservative media spaces. And we should be very grateful that, in a way, and we should not have our gratitude be like wool over our eyes, scales on our eyes. We should be grateful that someone, in this case Red Seat Ventures, is at least trying to help and participating in this. We can't become what we hate, the left, the mainstream media, whatever. But we always need to be on guard with compromising our principles. And we cannot let that go astray, no matter how much, because, I don't know what the deal is between the financial obligation is between all of these different factions with Tucker or Megyn or Candace or whoever else and Red Seat Ventures, Bill O'Reilly, but it's not probably small. And I think, thankfully, Red Seat is allowing them to say whatever they want to say, particularly in the case of like Candace or somebody like Candace. And that's good. And we should say that it's good when something is good. We should not be Chicken Little, sky is falling. It could be, but it also could not be. But I thought that was interesting that there's this massive company that no one knows about, Red Seat Ventures, that's pioneering apparently all this independent media stuff. And so it's going to be very interesting to see what happens as this conversation heats up, what's going to happen with all these issues, not just the Groyper-Israel issue, but many others. So we'll see.